Good morning and welcome to the Morning Spotlight Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Ham, coming to you as always from the Spotlight Studios in Morristown, New Jersey. We got another repeat guest again. We're just crushing it with repeat guests because people just want to come back on the show. It's amazing. So the first time he was on, we talked mental health. He's the CEO and founder of Phuket and Start Day One. But he is on today as the CEO and founder of Paid Exposure, Ricardo Zulueta Jr. Ricardo, welcome back, man.
Hey, thank you so much, Mike. Really appreciate it. Glad to be back.
Absolutely. It's great to have you back. I'm excited about this because it's a little bit different than some of the stuff that we do, but it's still, I think it fits in the broad context of what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So let's just learn more about paid exposure. So take us through what it is, what you do, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So I guess the first thing we would have to go through is what influencer marketing is, right?
Yep.
So influencer marketing, all it really is the ability to borrow trust from people with some kind of influence. Right now, we consider them people with social media following, right? Where you can actually borrow their trust so you can gain more customers for your brand or product. So that's all really influencer marketing is.
Okay.
So currently, influencer marketing is a very time-consuming process that actually takes weeks or even months to finalize transactions. And the biggest thing is because there's really a lack of trust. You don't know who you're working with, and they don't really trust the sponsors if they're really going to pay you up or not. And so paid exposure, what we're trying to do is empower anyone to be able to monetize valuable exposure with a platform that allows them to manage and grow their own business and also connect with advertising sponsors or agencies. So that's the kind of quick thing of it.
Right. Okay, so take us through. So paid exposure is trying to connect people, like brands, with people that have that social media power, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. Because right now, so the biggest thing, right? It's like what I mentioned before. You can put it into any business, right? If there's no trust, transactions are definitely not going to happen, whether it's online or offline. Right? If I don't trust you, I'm probably not going to go through you for mortgages or real estate or whatever, right? Like if I just don't trust you, right? That's like the main thing that makes the transaction happen.
Right.
It's even harder when it's online because there's no person to person, there's no accountability, nothing like that. So actually there's three things. So the reason there's no trust within the influencer space is because the first thing is the lack of transparency. Transparency, what I mean is, when you look on Instagram and stuff like that, all you really see are pictures, right?
Right.
Really no business aspect to it. Like imagine if Airbnb, if that's all you saw, pictures. And then you're supposed to stay there now.
Right. Yeah.
You're probably not going to do it just based on pictures, right? So that's why Airbnb has a listing. You see everything that has to do with that, venue, location, or whatever. So you look it up, what's the background, what is it located, pictures, and all that stuff. So the first step is transparency. Now imagine let's go back to the Instagram influencers. It's a great example because they're like the most popular right now. Imagine if you can see who these influencers are, their background, a written background, what they're about, links to their social media channels, being able to see their pricing for every single service that they provide you, whether it's stories or Instagram carousel, live, IGTV, whatever it is, because right now you have no clue what they do for you, right?
Yeah.
And so imagine having a listing with all that. But the next step is the credibility. Right now, there's just no credibility. All right. Love the resume. How do I know it's true?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I worked with Calvin Klein. Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Me too. Yeah, right.
Because there's actually a lot of influencers that are even pretending that they've been sponsored by simply going like Coca-Cola and then hashtag Coca-Cola. And it's like, I don't know. I don't believe you,
Right.
So anyway, they pretend because it builds their credibility. So that's the second thing that we need to build that trust is the credibility. One of the ways we do that is with ratings and reviews. So ratings and reviews really add credibility. Look how you shop on Amazon now. Pretty much anywhere now online, the first thing you look for are reviews. It's like, wait, and then you start comparing. That's the only way you compare. It's like, man, and you almost don't like when you're the first review. Like, I'm going to be the first one. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But because Amazon puts that, in place, it helps. And also imagine being able to see a history of sponsors. So now imagine you see a listing, and then you also see all the sponsors they've worked with, along with ratings and reviews. Now credibility. So transparency, credibility. Now you're up. The last thing, accountability. You have transparency and credibility, but how do I know you're really going to do what you say you're going to do? Ratings and reviews definitely help with that. And it actually increases quality. If you look at Uber, you're now in the back with a straw candy, like, hey, can you lower the AC a little bit? Right? Why is that? Because they want the 5 stars. They don't want 3. They wouldn't want 4. They want 5. So
Right.
they go for it because they just have more chances of being picked. Airbnb, same thing. Now you have a mint on your pillow. Like, damn, okay, I like the service here, 5 star.
Right.
Well, guess what? The next potential traveler is going to go, oh, definitely this one. It's all 5 stars. Well, imagine keeping that quality in the influencer marketing space. Now you have the ratings and reviews. Now you have transparency, you have credibility, but now it's also the payment. I own an apparel company, which is this.
Right.
And that's how I kind of learned a little bit more about it. I lose money.
Yeah.
Because I'll give them product and never hear from them. What do we do? It costs more to chase them.
Yeah.
So I just lose it. I just go, all right, well, that's a negative. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
That's all you do. And that's what a lot of companies do. And what if I can control the payment process, or at least help in that? So if I grab someone, let's say for your show, right? You're going to promote this product and brand or whatever. I go to the brand, get their money. When you get a notification, they already paid. They already paid. I'm going like, hey, Mike, did you want this sponsorship? It's, $100. And it's up to you to look at it, but it's according to all your pricing and services you listed out in your listing. So
Right.
Obviously you agree, like your pricing.
Right.
So all you're doing, and I make it mandatory to respond within 24 hours. So both sides don't waste any time.
Yeah.
And once you accept, now we're on. But I'm only going to give you the funds after the promotion. So I'm protecting the sponsor and
Right.
I'm protecting you because I already have it. So no worries, dude.
Yeah.
So when you have all that in place, the trust is way up, right?
Yeah.
Now they're going to want to freaking sponsor the morning spotlight because like, oh, if he doesn't do it, I get a refund. It's like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what we're trying to do. And that's why we say empower anyone, because right now people think influencers. That's just one of the channels of exposure. There's also offline exposure. There's podcast exposure. There's so many types of exposure that is valuable, but people only think of Instagram influencers, TikTok,
Right.
You don't really think of even B2B influencers on LinkedIn. You don't think how powerful that is. Like, for example, your niche is really tied into real estate, mortgage, things like that, right? I mean,
Right.
you basically entrepreneurship, businesses, things like that also.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's going to be attractive because the more niche you are is actually more attractive. So people think, oh, you have to have 10,000 followers before I can get a sponsor. No, the value just has to match your price, period.
Right.
If you don't have that many followers, or if you can't provide, I don't even want to say followers, it's based on your exposure. If you can provide exposure to a very niche people, so your conversion rate is going to be a lot higher than anyone else in that field. Well, that's valuable stuff.
Yep.
You might not charge $500, $1,000, but I'm pretty sure you can get $25, $50, $100.
Yep.
Whatever it is.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that I'm like teaching people, like where all the problems come from. And they actually don't realize like the biggest problem in the industry is because all of the problems, not some, all of the problems are from the influencers.
Gotcha.
But all the platforms are focusing on the sponsors. Doesn't make any sense, because here's why. There's just still a lot of learning curve in the influencer industry because they still don't understand that they're businesses, like they're service providers.
Yeah.
You can't complain about sponsors. The only thing you can complain about is if and when you get paid at the agreed amount. That's it. How can I go wrong? Let's say, hey, Fuga Clothing, hey, I just want to promote through you, Mike. And then and then you're complaining about what I do. Like, I'm just paying, right?
Right.
You're supposed to have mastered your craft, your business, the best way to promote me, the best way to say it. All that stuff should have been done already.
Yeah.
You should know what services to provide me. You should have a menu like, well, this is my pricing. But instead, you know what they do? Hey, Mike, I'd like to advertise through you. How much? I don't know. It depends. It's always, it fucking depends.
Yeah.
Always. Like,
right.
You should be ready. Like, what do you mean? Like, what's
Yeah, you got to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the hard thing is because there's no platform for it, a lot of them don't know. So it's almost like, yo, how much for that room at your house? You never even thought about it, right? You're like, I don't know. So when people don't understand what I mean, it's like, well, I imagine trying to rent your room or house, but do not use anything like Airbnb. Good luck. Yeah. That's going to be hard.
Right. I would have no idea where to even start. Craigslist, but then you get some seedy people coming off of Craigslist for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the most you do. Or kind of like going direct to Instagram.
Yeah.
You just go direct there and go, hey, what's up?
Right.
Would you like to advertise through me? You're like, okay. And the problem is, it's like service providers, right? Any service provider. And this is what I have to educate the influencers themselves. That's what's making it kind of more difficult because they don't know that that's what they are. And the way I explain it is you don't go to a tattoo artist and tell them how to tattoo. You don't go to an interior designer and tell them exactly what color palettes to use. And you pretty much go to a plumber and say, there's a leak and I need this fixed. And you don't Google plumbing, YouTube to learn as much about plumbing, or I don't need to know everything about mortgaging and real estate just so I can talk to you.
Yeah.
I should just be able to go, yo, Mike, I'm trying to do this. I believe you do title. So I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to research title so I can go to you.
Right.
You should tell me like, well, so this is what happens, Ricardo. Boom, this is what you need, and this is what you need. And then I go, whoa, oh, educated, like, oh,
right.
Because all I do is this. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. That's my only job is go, oh, thank you. It's my duty to kind of, be a little bit educated on, how pricing maybe.
Sure.
Maybe you compare, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the problems, at least in the industry.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm just curious to know what are some current trends facing the influencer market? Because like you said, I mean, basically like when I think of influencer marketing, I think of Instagram. Like that's like immediately where I went to. And when you first approached me about doing this episode, that's what I figured we were going to talk about most. But then as you're going, I'm seeing that there's more to it than just that. Yeah.
So the biggest trend, let's see. So influencer marketing just itself, the industry itself is so brand new, right? It's like a lot of businesses don't even know what to do with that. Like a lot of businesses are not even doing influencer marketing. They know like it's effective to get people to promote them, any business, right? So one of the trends, at least my predictions or what we're trying to do, right? Everyone knows the Kim Kardashian, the 1 million followers, and everyone's starting to know people with even 100,000 followers are being hired for influencer marketing and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
But what's funny is a lot of people don't know why they're valuable. Like, why is it going lower and lower and lower? So you have the celebrity, mega, micro, and then nano influencers. So why are they even looking at that? Because when you hit 100,000 followers, your level of engagement actually plateaus and then it starts decreasing.
Okay.
Level engagement for people that don't know is likes, comments, shares. Basically, that's the engagement you're getting. Now,
right.
Why are we looking at engagement? Here's what happened. These freaking people. Greed, man. Freaking greed. So this is what happened. You have 100, you have 1 million followers. Whoa, awesome. Well, people went, wait, so if I have 1 million followers, I get paid? No way. Well, guess what they started doing? Fake followers. They started buying online. People started offering, I'll get you 20 million followers in a month.
I think I get those messages like on, the Morning Spotlight's Instagram account. I get them like once a week, minimum.
Yeah. And guess how many says, okay, because I get more money if I get more followers.
Right.
So now that's how people were paying. You have 1 million followers, I'll pay you this much. You have 500,000, I'll pay you this much. Well, now with the fake followers, it became, I don't know. Like, how do I know how many is real? So they started looking at engagement. Engage means there's real people going, hey, awesome show, Mike, this, that, like, share. Those are all real people. Well, guess what? What happened? Fake
likes. Yeah.
So now they learned they're looking at engagement now. They don't even care about how many followers. It's about the cost of engagement. Right. And a lot of people still don't know that it's all about the cost of engagement. Because it doesn't matter what your engagement is. It depends how you're pricing yourself based on that engagement. Because so what if you have 50% engagement, but if you're charging more per engagement than anyone else, it's like, well, that's not a good deal at all.
Right.
In fact, it's still fucked up. It goes against the law of supply and demand right now. People with bigger followers are more expensive than the micro. That doesn't make sense. When you buy in bulk anything, the price is supposed to go down.
Yeah.
When I go to Kardashians, the level of engagement goes less than 1% probably. Right?
Right.
So the engagement of those should be cheaper. I'm buying in bulk here. But it's not. Why? That's totally against the law of supply and demand, like completely against it, completely. And that's when you know, well, that's because there's a problem. That's when you can tell there's a high rate of whatchamacallit. It's just highly fragmented.
Okay.
They don't know how to connect. There's no transparency.
Right.
Nothing. And so that's what happens. Everything's behind closed doors. Like, this is what these influencers are doing. They price according to their pride and sponsors budget, which is insane. Imagine going to a restaurant. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, I'd like dinner. What's your budget? Like, wait a minute. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Right. Yeah.
Like, can I get a menu? Well, depends. What are you looking for? And
yeah.
Just, chicken. All right. Well, here's some chicken here. And it's just like, well, obviously it's going to take freaking a while to get your order. Instead, we get a menu, set pricing. Just because someone's a millionaire doesn't mean like, oh, you're a millionaire, different menu. Hold on.
Right.
Yeah, that chicken's now $500.
Yeah. Right.
That's what they do. It's insane. And I have to teach them this. It's like, that's not how this works. Interior designers or tattoo artists, they don't go to 50 Cent and all of a sudden like, oh, 50 Cent, $5,000 now. It doesn't make any sense. It's the same price because that's how much they're worth.
Right.
Influencers have to learn this. And the thing is, sponsors don't know this either. But because influencers don't know it, it makes it 10 times harder for the sponsors because all the problems are from the influencers. So that's what I need to fix. And that's what I am trying to fix.
Okay. Yeah. So it goes beyond just like the matchmaking service and the holding the money in between the two parties service. It's educating both sides on like how to actually go about this process.
Exactly. And so that's where the trends are happening. That's why they're going to the nano too, right? Actually, I lost track on that one, right?
Yeah.
So the level of engagement is higher. The reason this happens is imagine having 10 friends. You'll probably be able to hang out with them all throughout the year.
Right.
Imagine trying to hang out with 100 friends. The likeliness of that happening going to be less. Your level of engagement goes down as you have more friends, more followers, all that stuff. So when you think about it, they become very attractive. So now you have someone, let's say 1 million followers, this much, right? But like I said, level engagement, 1%.
Right.
Well, how about 100,000 followers? Stack them up. That equals 1 million.
Yep.
But let's say their level of engagement, 5%. Well, now it's a lot higher. That's freaking 5% compared to 1%. That's huge. That's huge with the number of engagement, right?
Yep.
So and the thing is they're cheaper because you're paying this one, this one, this one, this one, right? At least right now it is.
Yeah, right.
So it's more affordable and all that stuff. So instead of getting this person at this, Kardashian with this rate, you only get this much engagement anyway. You're actually getting more for your money by stacking all these different influencers that'll equal the same reach. And so that's why that the going to the smaller followers have become more popular. And at the same time, it's actually not only they're more popular, it's the problem is that it's the time it takes. It's almost the same amount of time. Remember how I told you it was time consuming?
Right.
Whether you're nano, micro, it's almost the same because of the lack of trust than it is with even a bigger account.
Yeah.
So they can't put 100 people because if it takes the same amount of time as this one, everyone's like, I'm not going to talk to 100 of them. Because
right.
A whole year,
Yeah, exactly. Seriously.
And so that's where we come in. We make it so efficient that you're able to talk to even the smallest influencers instead of always concentrating on the bigger influencers just because of time.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of one of the biggest trends that are happening there.
Yeah.
And I believe that the trend that I'm predicting is the hyper local level, being able to promote the nearest restaurant by community. So that's the next step we're trying to kind of do and prove is being able to allow anyone local to promote their local businesses. And that's going to help out the economy, especially with the pandemic going on. They need a lot of help. So why give Facebook, Google, all these advertising money when you can give your local community this money that stays in the ecosystem of the local community?
Yeah. Do you ever see any issues with because I'm curious about this just from like my own standpoint with the show is like, brands looking at different types of influence. So I know you said there's a lot of different kinds and going just like the wrong route, like, picking influencers that just won't help them. Does that ever become an issue? Like they know that they'll get engagement on like that high level if they're using one of these bigger names, but maybe it just doesn't make any sense for them to do that. You ever see that happen?
Yeah. That's the beauty of hyper local. It doesn't freaking matter what their niche is, right? Because their followers are probably local.
Yeah.
So that's the best part about them. So the biggest mistake people do is they're looking at the influencers. What you really need to do is looking at like, are their audiences the potential customers for my brand or product? Doesn't matter who the influencer is. Who are they capturing? Right. So a lot of times they just go, oh, this guy is perfect because you think he's cool. But he only talks about real estate, dude. Like,
Right.
So it's like you don't go in there, with Fuki clothing and say, hey, you're real estate. Like, it doesn't make any sense. What?
Yeah.
You might want some banks in there, things like that.
Yep.
So that's where they mess up is because they're looking too much at the influencer rather than the audience of the influencer. But pretty much people can kind of tell, you have to really go in there and really check out who they are. Our platform is not meant to get rid of everything because you still have to do your work, or your due diligence.
Due diligence. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, and then I'm curious to know like how, so we have people listening that might be on either side, like an influencer side or on a business side that was looking to engage with influencers. So let's take influencers first. So like if they're interested in going and using paid exposure to help, grow their credibility and connect with different brands, like let's go like step by step. Like how do they do that?
Okay. So the first step is you just sign up on there, right? We call them promoters. Rather than influencers, because we're all about any type of valuable exposure.
Okay.
You have to understand, first you have to figure out your role, right? Like, what are you trying to do? As soon as you try to monetize your social media channels or exposure, is as soon as you change your role. You have to stop being an influencer, start being an entrepreneur or a promoter. I call them entrepreneurs. And because your sponsors now become your clients, not your followers. And so that's who you need to cater to.
Right.
So when you have that mindset that you have a business and then sponsors is your business, and because you're all about exposure, now you became an advertising medium, right?
Okay.
So that's the first step, is knowing what your role is in influencer marketing. I almost hate saying influencer marketing because people go divert straight to Instagram models.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, that's what you need to know, is that role. So you would sign up on the page or on the website. Basically, you fill out your profile just like, an Airbnb. No one's going to know anything unless you put it on there.
Yeah.
You put on there as much information as possible, because you really need to build that trust, that credibility. So once you're on there, you now have a set profile. A lot of people, or influencers, don't realize it's a business, right? Now, as a business, for you to make money, now, do you go joining marketplaces and then wait for businesses to come to you?
No, you got to promote, man. Got to get out there on the pavement, baby.
Do you think they magically appear? Yeah. I don't need to do any work. I'm an influencer.
Right.
Dude, it's a business. You can have the most prestigious restaurant down the street. If they don't do any advertising, no one's going.
Yep.
No one's going. So if no one knows about how quality you are and this and no one's going to go. It's a business. So what our platform does, it allows you to be able to actually manage your own business. You're able to copy your profile very easily. Let's say I'm an influencer today, right? And actually, this is what I'm going to be doing to test it out a little bit. I can copy my profile, look for any local restaurant and say, hey, I would really love to promote your brand. I'm from Toms River, New Jersey, and I think I can get some people to go to your place.
Yeah.
I'm going to start my pricing low because it's my first account. Just like any freaking business, you hook them up. Hey, I'll do my services for free, but could you just give me like a referral? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Every business does this. You get free pizza on the first opening day or free coupons for the next time visit. Whatever it is, they provide some kind of free service, something. Well, influencers aren't doing this because they think they have this pride. Like, I have 100,000 followers. I'm valuable. We don't really care about that at all.
Yeah.
What have you done? What have you done?
Right.
You don't know. So, and then, you could say, I'm the best artist. I want to, I'm worth this much to tattoo you. I'm like, you haven't even tattooed anyone. Stop. You can just stop there, dude.
Yeah.
So that's the first step. So now you can actually copy and paste your profile, reach out to your local sponsors and say, hey, I'd love to promote you this, that, and this is my link. And basically it's like going to a listing, you see everything. And as you accumulate all these, imagine getting your ratings and reviews. Let's say you have just 10. You got 10 sponsors locally. Well, that increases your credibility big time.
Yeah.
Imagine getting 5 stars from all of them. What do you think? How difficult do you think 11 is going to be? Right? It's going to be very easy.
Yeah.
And here's funny. One of the things that we do very differently with our platform is that we suggest, actually, it's the only way they do it on here. We tell influencers right now what they do is they charge per post.
Yep.
It's so inefficient because as soon as I tell you that, what does that mean?
It's going to post constantly. Mean? Yeah. Just keep posting.
Yeah. What does it mean?
Right.
Look at Instagram. Is that a story? How many stories? Are you going to go live? Is it a carousel? How many pictures? How many of that is videos? Are you going to do an IGTV with that? There's so many questions. What do you mean per post? What does that mean? What does that entail?
Right.
It's like ordering at a restaurant, chicken. What kind of chicken, man?
Yeah.
What is it?
Right.
Chicken is this much. And so, so that's like a problem in the space that's happening. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. So then is it a similar process for a brand to get started with paid exposure?
A lot easier for sponsors. So, So like I said before, I forgot when you're setting up your pricing, the thing that we do, so everyone's doing per post, right? What we suggest on our platform is to price yourself per day.
Okay.
Because price per day, what makes it really different is that you're able to have an inventory of your services now. Because there's scarcity. You only have 365 days. So it gives that scarcity, right? So if I'm a local influencer, you have 365 days, guys. Oh, this restaurant already got this. And what's good about that is repeat is always better than one time, right?
Right.
So throughout the year, you don't need 365 sponsors to get each day. You need 12 to do it once a month.
Right.
And one of the cool things that you could do with our platform, and since you can price per day, it's just like booking a room. It makes it so simple. So you know exactly when they're going to promote you and all that stuff. And the way they price themselves, and I suggested, I'm like, start low. What's cool is we allow them to start in increments if they wanted to. So for example, let's say we're starting January 1st. Start at $1. You don't have any followers, really. You have 2,000, 5,000 followers, let's say, local, right? Start at $1. And then increase by $1. 1, 2, 3. So January 2nd is $2. January 3rd is $3. Keep going. So December 31st is $365, right?
Yeah.
So why do I want to suggest that? Well, here's why. One, how easy is it to sell $1 when you have 5,000 followers? I think any restaurant would say, yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah. Like, yep. How about $2?
Still pretty easy.
Yeah. 3, 4. And this is what I always ask them. When do you think it becomes difficult to sell even at the local level? We're not even talking you have 50,000 followers, right? We're talking like 5,000 followers, 10,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Where do you think, I'm going to ask you, where do you think it becomes, let's say you're a sponsor. What amount do you think it's going it's going to be a little tough sell?
So we're taking like a local restaurant or local something.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had 5,000 followers, I would think that like maybe if I got to like the $200 range, maybe like halfway through the year. But if I'm already seeing a return on all the, like I see what just happened, and like if I was paying $1 and I got X amount of exposure, then I'll pay the $150. I'll pay $365 if I see the return coming back to me.
But what I was kind of getting to, like, just from pricing alone, like, right? Like, how much?
I'll say 200. 200.
200? All right, awesome. That's actually even higher than I usually say.
Yeah.
But if you're at 200 and you started at $1 and you said $1 is easy to sell, $2 is easy, 3, 4, 5, it becomes difficult at 200. That's 200 sponsors, man.
Yeah.
That's 200 ratings and reviews. So now when I tell you, well, do you think 201 is going to be difficult after you get all that?
Yeah, right.
It's going to be simple.
Yeah.
And guess how much it turns out to be if you started at $1 and end at 365 at the end? It turns out to be like $67,500.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You're now full-time. You're now full-time.
Yeah.
It's the fastest way to go full-time. The problem I'm experiencing is that they're not acting like businesses. That only works if you're constantly trying to get your sponsors. You don't just leave it there, because in a month it increased by this much. How are you going to sell it when you had no follower?
Yeah.
When you had no sponsorship? It's not going to work.
Right.
Just because you incrementally increase it doesn't do anything unless you're actually promoting. That's like having a sale, but not telling everyone there's a sale. Well, of course it's not going to work.
Right.
You didn't say it's discounted, man. Like you have to say like, hey, 10% off, limited time, whatever it is. And so when you do it that way, it's the fastest way. And what's funny is, let's say we're talking local here. By the time you get to even 50 local sponsors, right? All those restaurants most likely going to know each other if you're hyper local.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way you're not going to know, like, oh my God, I know that restaurant and that. It makes it actually so easy to promote the next one and the next one. So influencers are always looking for the Nike, Adidas, this, like, why are you know how many sponsors you have at home? Like, and it's so much easier to grab them. And I'm only talking about 5,000, 10,000 followers here.
Yeah.
It's really simple. So it actually allows them to really build their own business doing that. Right.
Yep.
And for businesses, they love it because that's all I want. Like, I just want the local thing. And the coolest thing is that it's always going to be fresh by just picking different people.
Yeah.
All the time.
Right.
They always want advertising. They're always going to want that. And the most beneficial type of advertising is this.
Yeah.
When they're local people going to your business, that's like, can't ask for anything better than that, right? It'll outdo any freaking ad, right? So yeah, but for the sponsor side, it's even more simple. You go there, you sign up, you create your profile, same thing, right? Once you create your profile, you're able to look at all the different promoters. Actually, you can look at them even without that, but you would go on there. You would be able to filter your search according to who you're looking for. And the same thing, the same advantage. You can copy, because we just started our startup. So
yeah,
there's not, especially when you're local. I don't know if I have any locals for you. Well, you can copy your URL specifically for your profile, reach out to local Instagrammers and say, hey, would you be willing to promote my brand? Here's my information. Boom, sign up here. We're going to make it so easy. We haven't published it yet. You're going to have a button on your profile that says join team. Once they join the team, they automatically get signed up and they automatically become part of your team.
Okay.
So now you can see who wants to promote you. So you can filter your search according to your team first and go, well, obviously they're going to say yes, because they said, yeah, I'll promote you. You're my boy. Cool.
Right.
And then you go there. And because of the platform, we force them to put transparency by putting their background, putting their pricing on everything. We actually have suggested pricing that's going to happen. And so now you have everything that you need. And I protect you. So it's like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now you just pick and choose who you want and you just book them just like you would book a flight and stuff like that. And like I said, they have 24 hours to respond to you. So you could just pick and choose them. And then whoever accepts. Who declines, you get a notification. Nope, declined. At least you're not waiting more than a week, like 24 hours.
Right.
Yeah. So it's very easy for the sponsors. We've made it at least simple. And what a different thing that we do too, which most sponsors don't really know, is creating a campaign.
Okay.
So they only think like, oh, advertise my business. You have to have specific goals, objectives, things like that, right?
Right.
A lot of small businesses especially don't really think about that. You need a specific campaign. So let's say, you know Surf Taco at all?
I don't think so.
Oh no, yeah. Actually, they were more south here.
Okay.
So anyway, they're more like got that like surfer vibe kind of thing, right? So for a campaign, they might want something with skateboarders, surfers, and stuff like that. Right. So that's very unique campaigns. But on Mother's Day, you're not just going to look for surfers, and you're going to look for moms.
Yeah.
This Mother's Day, they're the best one. So each campaign should actually be different. Each day, you can even create a campaign that you want them on this day. Let's say Black Friday is coming.
Right.
So you get this is the deal day, right? You can get an influencer here on this date and say, I just want you to kind of create awareness, spread, stories and stuff like that. On this day, I want you to kind of talk about the mission, let's say I'm doing my clothing or something, right? I just want to talk to you, my mission and stuff like that, what we're about, suicide prevention, things like that. And then on Black Friday, tell them we have a deal, 40% off, this, that, here's a discount code.
Yeah.
That's more effective.
Gotcha.
Than going like, promote me.
Yeah. Like a plan is always better. Yeah. Definitely have to have a plan.
What makes it hard is the influencers don't know what the hell to do. Like, what do you mean promote Fuki clothing? Like,
right.
Okay, awesome. That's all they're going to do. It's not going to achieve your goal that on Mother's Day, you want moms to buy it for their kids, or, you really have to be specific. Veterans Day, hey, you want to get military to do this, this, and this. Like, the more specific you are, the better it's going to be.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Mm-hmm. So let's take the Morning Spotlight podcast. So we'll test you. I gave you some demographics and topics that we discussed on the show and everything like that. So maybe if I was to go take the show onto paid exposure and use that as, I guess I would be on the influencer side because I'm promoting stuff. So like, what are some brands and stuff that you think that I should be connecting with? So, like my general age demographic, it's mostly male that listens to my show, all that kind of stuff. So what are some things that who should I be connecting with?
Sure. So when you create your profile, you pretty much know your niche. Yeah. So you already know what you're about. And like we said, it's a lot of real estate in there, titles, mortgaging, all that stuff, right?
Yep.
So your content is mostly on that. What's cool is you also go off topic sometimes, but specific niches.
Yeah.
Cool thing, what you do with your podcast is you have a specific thing that you want to talk about. You actually tell your guest speakers, what are we going to talk about? Well, you usually do it in advance, which is very good.
Right.
Well, now that you know it's in advance, you can go to different people, whatever your topic is, based on the topic of that thing. Hey, I'm going to be doing this thing. Reach out to the sponsors and say, I'm looking for a sponsor specifically for that specific podcast. It could be general, like you said, overall podcast.
Right.
Or it can be specific to each podcast, right? So you can write all that stuff down. You have the ability because you can write your background. So you can put on there, these are the topics for these dates.
Yeah.
And because you have a calendar set, they'll know when to sponsor you.
Right.
What's cool is it gets that scarcity. If you only do it Tuesday, Thursday, that's all you've got. So now they have to sponsor this, or this. Like they're very limited.
Yeah.
Increases that value, right? Like,
right.
And then you got to look, well, what do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus a little bit bigger? Do you want to go hyper local? What I see for you, obviously, other agencies, realtors, even your podcast guests. Do you want to promote your logo on my thing? I'll put it on my green screen.
Put it on the wall. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That becomes exposure. And what happens is on my platform, I allow you to, just like influencer. Remember I said like, well, what the fuck is a post? For you, what do you mean you're going to promote me?
Right.
What's entailed? I allow you to list out everything and allow you to pick and choose. You might be able to get 3 different sponsors. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You only get 1 per day, but you can upsell. So you can say, one of my services is a green screen. I could put your logo back there. I'll replace the guy with the beard back there with your logo, or New Jersey will become your logo the whole time throughout the podcast. I can also usually do our podcasts. I will do a shout out within the podcast at least 3 times, beginning, middle, end.
Right.
It's another service now. I will wear your apparel. I will wear a shirt for your brand throughout the whole. Now that's another way. I leave it up to the sponsors to pick and choose. Well, what would you like? Rather than you going like, oh, I'll promote you. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Wear your shirt, background this, but it's up to you which one you want. You don't have to pay for all of them, or I can give you a package deal. If you want all 3, this much. It should be less. Be less because you're consolidating, right? But now, can you see the power of it? Now you're going, holy shoot. That's even if you went, $20 for the screen, $20 for the shirt, $20 for the shout outs. Well, now it's $60, right?
Yeah.
But you leave it up to them according to their budget rather than asking them, like, well, what's your budget?
Right.
I don't know. You let them freaking decide.
Yeah.
And then try to think of anything that you can actually produce. And we're only talking about the podcast exposure right now, like what I'm seeing on a screen.
Yeah.
You haven't even gone to also post on Instagram. I'll create a story before the thing. I will also do a carousel picture with all your services. I will also do a live when any day that you want. Or do you see the power now?
Yep.
So it's empowering you because it allows you to really monetize valuable exposure. And so it really gets out there. So now you have a business. Now I just made influencer marketing a business. I just allowed you to monetize exposure, whatever it is. Wearing a shirt, that has nothing to do with Instagram. You're just wearing a shirt. That's all you're promising. Wearing a shirt. You think people think influencer, oh, it's about followers, this, that, like, I guess, but there's so many ways because exposure could be a billboard on freaking, the Parkway. Like, that's exposure, man.
Right. Yeah.
So let's say you have a freaking restaurant, that's exposure.
Yep.
Showing my stuff out there. So that's what we're kind of going to online and offline exposure. That's why I called it paid exposure.
Right.
Where promoters get paid and sponsors get exposure.
Yeah.
But exposure in so many ways.
Yeah.
So those are the ways that you'll be able to monetize you. Now, when you're looking for different sponsors, again, like I said before, look for the specific niche according to your podcast, list it on your profile. And also basically you would just, you kind of know who you typically work with, who would really be interested, and what kind of audience do you have? What would be valuable to them that
Right.
they could get a discount on, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whether it's a listing somewhere for this much, or you know what I mean. So you can
Yeah.
really kind of help that out, or you could just go specifically local businesses. Really depends.
Yeah.
Because everyone goes to a restaurant. Everyone, you know what I mean.
Right.
So that can still be, just because it's not real estate. But if you're focusing on Morristown, let's say, that's huge.
Right.
That's huge. They're going to
Yeah.
be like, every restaurant's going to want to go like, nah, he's awesome. And like he talks about this and takes a picture of my building, posts it on the thing. Like, oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's really, you got to get creative in what you can provide to your sponsors. And like I said, it's like, once you think of it as a business and the sponsors are your clients, you no longer think about just your audience.
Yeah.
You're just giving your audience some kind of value with your sponsors. But beyond that, really, you're like, all right, what can I do for sponsors, and what kind of sponsors do I really want? All that stuff.
Exactly.
That's really it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're going to move this into our closing segment. You've already done the closing segment on the last episode that you were on. It's called Under the Spotlight, where we have you give us one final thought. So the people that have made it to the end of this episode have listened to you talk about influencer marketing, different ideas, different ways that paid exposure is helping this whole process from both ends, the sponsor end and the influencer end. So for them, what is one thing that you want them to walk away from this episode knowing about influencer marketing? It could be on either side, whatever you got, or even if it's something that you want them to know about paid exposure, we could do that too. Whatever it is.
Let's see. Well, what kind of topic to get? I forgot about this. Yeah. I guess I would. It's kind of cocky thing to say. It's like, well, because we're trying to solve all the problems on paid exposure. I mean, there's now three sides there.
Yeah.
Because you have the sponsors, agencies, and promoters. From the promoter side, oh man, wow.
This is tough. The Under the Spotlight is a tough segment.
Yeah, that's again, I think. Because I don't know what to let them leave with. With paid exposure, I mean, really, it's the most efficient way for you to be able to implement influencer marketing without having to know so much about influencer marketing.
That's perfect.
Because we actually help guide you with what you need, and we force you to create a campaign. You can't even get an influencer without building a campaign. You can't book them, nothing. And when you go through the questions, it actually, you really want to think about your campaigns very specifically, and even for each day if you can. But so I guess talking to the sponsors, it would be really concentrating on what the campaign is, and you want to think about repeat, because that's the most effective way of getting more effective, I guess, results.
Yeah.
So that's what I would suggest. And really, it's all about, on both sides, it's all about manual outreach, meaning don't let the marketplace bring you your promoters or bring you your sponsors without doing anything about it.
Yeah.
You are your own business, and you have to do what you have to do to make it happen. So reach out to them directly. Don't wait for me to have 1 million sponsors and 1 million promoters on there just so you can start promoting.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was perfect. A little bit rough out of the gate, but then you got it together, and I think that's perfect. So that's going to wrap up our show. So thank you everybody for listening. I'm going to put Ricardo's contact information, including paidexposure.com, in case you're interested, because this was eye-opening for me, because I've been interested in trying to figure out how I can get the podcast out there more and perhaps create some revenue stream for me by doing this. Yeah. And this, just the wheels are already turning. So I already have
that's great.
All the notes and stuff like that over here. So, exactly. So yeah, I will put the paidexposure.com, Ricardo's contact information in the show notes. So make sure that you reach out, check it out, the website, all that. I will also make sure to put all the Morning Spotlight content information in there. So if you want to be a guest on the Morning Spotlight, if you want to listen to us talk about a specific topic, make sure you go to themorningspotlight.com or email us at themorningspotlight@gmail.com. Ricardo, thanks for coming on with us again.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And everybody else, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.